This one is for Stacy and Deb. Hello, welcome to Spy Money. They love that. That's all they say. So that one's for you girls. Today was a mess. Why would, and I'm asking you this, why would the market go up like it's going up when we have America in a shamble? Businesses are shutting down, made to. They're losing money. Most small business cannot afford to be shut down for a month. Some are going to be shut down longer than that. So in this type of market, the obvious would say that the market is going to keep on going down because those companies are not producing money. So if they're not producing money, then your balance sheet is going to be down. Now, here's my take, and I'll have to give Steve credit on this one. He brought this up, and I didn't really think about it, but we're at the end of the month. Business wants their stocks and so forth to go up. Not only are we at the end of the month, we are at the end of the quarter. So you got quarterly reports coming out, you've got monthly reports coming out. So really today and tomorrow is very important to keep the numbers up. So if they're keeping the numbers up, now how they do that, I don't know, other than pump money into the stocks, or maybe it's just completely manipulated, which I think it is anyway. You can't have ES, the future that we're looking at right now, you can't have that looking like the same chart as another stock. So let's just take this for instance. If I take that and let's just go to Apple. Look at that, same chart. See that right there? Same chart as ES, same thing. So, whether if Apple is in the S&P 500 or not, it really doesn't matter. Apple has its own company. So your market is manipulated. There's just no doubt. There's no way that you could have over 4,000 stocks in the market, and the majority of those stocks, not all of them, but the majority of those stocks will have the same pattern. The ones that don't are usually ones with news. So let's look at Tesla. Tesla sold off. It had bad news where they're shutting down stuff. Uber has practically the same pattern as ES. Walmart usually does whatever it wants to do, and it usually goes against what ES will do, against what the market is. Not always, but for the most part it does. You have Disney. Disney actually had bad news, and you would think would be selling off hard, yet it went up with the market. So you have one market that you can watch, ES. If you watch ES and you chart out ES, you practically have charted out the majority of the stocks in the stock market. That's not going to be exactly, but for the most part, it's pretty close. I mean, when ES, you can put up 12 charts right here, and when ES starts moving, they all start moving. You can just watch them. They all move in unison together. So that's why I focus so much attention to ES. ES is the future of the S&P 500, the mini future. So that's why I watch it. And I usually trade on micro ES, the MES. That's where I usually do my future contracts. So saying all that, is this Fed pumping the money in? Is it possibly maybe even the Chinese buying up, the dips down here, and the Chinese are going up, and maybe they've got something against us, as far as China itself, not Chinese people. I'll rephrase that. But China, the country, do they have another action against us? Where we are right now is because of China, as far as the CV. So are they buying up the stock, and then later when we think that everything's going to be fine, they're going to just sell it off and it's going to dump? It could possibly be. They've got the money to put into this. So, why is it doing what it's doing? Now, here's another thing that we could look at. We could look at, not a weekly, but we could look at an hourly chart. And if we look at this chart, now I give you all the conspiracies. Now let's talk about charts. We had a bear flag right here. So here was your flag. Here's your pole. Here's your flag. Now I deleted that because we no longer used it. Now we have another pole, and now we have another flag. Now your pole and flag are usually in about the same kind of length. So you have a long pole and you have a long flag. You have a very long flag and you have a very long pole and you have a very long flag. your flag wouldn't be here because it wouldn't make sense. Now, if we come down this one, you have this middle trend line. And what I did, it's not exact, but for the most part it is. It's hitting the top of it here. And you come down hitting the top. And then all the way down through here, it's hitting the tops and bottoms all the way down. Okay, so by doing that, that puts it to about right here. Now we have a flag. And this is the channel that it's been following. We also have this upper trend from right there. It's touching there. And it touched right here today. So, is that kind of purposely, there? I mean, is it going to hit there and then bounce down, or is it going to keep on going? We won't know until later tonight. And I personally think that we're going to sell off there because we have this trend and we have this channel, which is the flag, and hitting that trend. It don't have to be exactly there. I can have my trend off a little bit, but it's hitting right here, and the support is like 2620 or so, rolling through there. Could it go up to here? Yes, it could. It can go all the way up to 2633. Could it go further? Yes. Could it just keep on going forever? Yes. But what I think will happen is we're in a bear flag, and I think this is going to sell off. There's just no possible reasoning for the stock market to be in such a rage when we are in such dire need of help. You look at the medical field with how that's all going. I mean, people are risking their lives to save lives. People are dying by the hundreds. Every day we hear of more deaths. Every day we hear of longer shutdowns. We just went from trying to open before Easter to now we're closed at the end of April. And that's not even a definite they're going to open. They said that's definitely we're going to be closed till then, until further update. I don't think we'll open then. I think that some of the articles have come up and said that in 2 weeks we're going to be in worse shape than what we are now. We have to get worse to get better. So I think that this will sell off because of that. Now, where will it go? We could actually come down and touch the 2353 area on this fib and then bounce up. But I think we're going to come down. If we don't stop at the 2174 where we stopped before, I think we'll hit this down here. And the reason I say here is because fibs are usually pretty accurate. They don't have to hit it exact, but I think that it will hit it. So if it does, if you have calls or puts or whatever, all the groups that I have and all the people I've spoken to, they have calls and puts, and everybody's getting wasted on them. They're all getting red because of all this consolidation. It'll come down, bounce up, then it will shoot back down, then it comes up, shoots back down. This is all consolidation right here. So with having the consolidation, you're going to lose premium. Now the market makers know that. Now are they in charge of the way this is going? I don't know, probably are. But if they are, then they know what they're doing because everybody's buying puts and calls, and these are big swings. I mean, we're talking 100+ point swings that these are making. So like today, I think it rallied, what is it? Well, it doesn't show up for now, but it was like, I think 95 points or so from here to there. So from down here, if we do this, from here to there is 176 points. So from Sunday at opening, when we hit all the way down to 2544 or 2545, we went up and we did that much. From here down to here, you're looking at 189 points. So really, these two are basically the same swings, okay, as far as the drop and the rally. So with doing that, that messes all your puts up and all your calls up. So that's where I am with it. That's my thinking of it, and I think it's logical thinking. The first part is a lot of conspiracy, and I don't necessarily believe that. I believe charts tell a story, and that's been my thing all along, is that if you watch the charts and you watch the news, you can see that the chart's going to move before the news tells you. And that's the only reason I watch the news, to kind of find out what's going on. I did this live stream later today because Trump was on. He had a press conference, and I wanted to hear what was going on. He said really kind of the same stuff that they had in there. He was really trying to be upbeat and positive, trying to make sure everybody's not living in fear and such, and you shouldn't live in fear. This is all going to pass over time, and whenever it passes, it'll be better. Now, if I look right there, I can see that that little red is sticking up. So this one is off a little bit just by looking at that. And it's hard to see these. So if I bring this one up to there, then that's going to be right at the top of that red one. So if I come in there, you can see it's actually a little bit below it. I could even move it some more. But when I do that, look what it did right there. That's actually at the top. So if I raise that up to that top one, I bet you that red one would actually disappear. So let's go back here and see what it does now. See, the red one's right on it now. Now, is that coincidental that that market stopped where it did today? I think not. I think it's just part of the plan. Computers are trading now. Look at that one. Now that's why you chart things. Now we're only looking at 2 candles that we're touching, but based off of the way this moved today and went up and just barely touched it, and this right here is touched, this is a trend to me. Now, could it go past it? Absolutely. I don't think it will. I think it's actually raised or rallied up to here today, and then this evening it may consolidate a little bit, but I believe that it'll just go ahead and sell off. Now, if we look at the 1 minute chart just to see what it's doing, 1 minute's right there. It hit the high. Now we're starting to come down. So it very well could be that we're going to see the reverse now. Personally, I hope it does reverse. I don't want to see it happen to America, but I'd like to see it reverse. That way I can get out of some of the positions I'm in. And then, once it comes down, we can sell off our positions. There's a bunch of people I know that are in puts and so forth now and shorting the stocks. So if it can come down and we get out of our positions, I would love to be long bias bull on this and just buy nothing but calls. If we do that and we keep going up, America itself is going to be better. This right here is a fake pump right now. And with it being fake, this is going to be a hard sell-off. If you look the last time, and I'm not saying it'll go this far, but the last time, it actually sold off 965 points. Okay? So 965. Now let's just see what 965 would be from about right there. Let's see, where are we? If we went to the same thing, it would be about right here. So we're actually looking about the 1700 mark. It's probably compared as far as this one, and this one would come down to the 1709. I don't think we're going to go that far, but it wouldn't shock me if we did. So if we just look at these right here, and let's see, let me try to get a little bit closer. So if we're right there, and we come down to here, that's 918 points, or 914 points. So based off of the last time, that could very easily happen, and we actually have a fib that is right in target of that. So now this other one never actually hit a fib. It stopped midway, and then it bounced up. Usually, it will not necessarily land on the fib. It will just be in the vicinity, but usually not that far away. It usually don't go halfway. It'll usually get real close to it, maybe drop to here and then come up, or it will come down, almost touch it, and then bounce. That's what it will usually do. So usually not the halfway mark. So that's another thing that kind of tells me that this is going to sell off. If we sold off from here to there, that's 586 points to there. That would make sense to me. I don't think that we're going to have the extreme drop that we had. So, but that's just my opinion. That's based on my charting, the news I'm hearing, and so forth. So, take it for what it is. I'm not always right. I'm never 100% right. I'm right a good percentage of the time because I follow my charts. So let's move on from ES. We'll go to gold. Gold started selling off today. Gold should be over 2,000 right now, as bad as our market is. But since Tuesday, it's consolidated over, and it's actually in more of a pennant than anything. I've had a lot of different patterns here, and we're going to change some of these. This one here really doesn't go in with it. This one does not, and we're going to go ahead and change to a pennant and see how that actually works out. And I'm not really sure that that's even the right one to put in. If I come back, it don't really pick up anything there, so we're going to leave it there. And then this one is already up there in a, it's more of a bull flag is what it is. Here would be your pole. Here's your flag. I'm hoping that it will not be that, but it will actually be a drop here. So now this one actually lines up better than that one. So we're going to take these out. This one, actually I'm going to leave that one because it is actually touching up here. I guess I should have left that one there. If I bring this up, because that's actually in, let's see, right there. So we're going to leave that one. I'm going to change this one back to red. The reason we're changing this back to red is because it matches this one. So that's an ascending triangle. So really we need to see, is it going to drop out of this or is it going to keep on going? That's what we need to watch. So if it drops out of this one, we still, well, with having, get that closer so you can see, we have this one touching and we have those two touching. If this drops down and keeps on going, then that pattern was not right. It is an actual pattern forming because we have our top there, we have one there and one here. So this is an actual horizontal trend right there. So with that being a horizontal trend across and this one being up, I'm going to go ahead and do away with this one. That's just in the way. And then this one here, I don't know what that was about. We're going to get rid of it. I have no idea what that was about. This one, we don't need this one anymore. So we're going to clean this up so we can see it better. So now you do have this flag coming down, and it's touching there and it's touching here. I'm going to leave that in place for now because it may follow that because we have it up here. We don't have it there. Looks like we're following more of an ascending triangle than we are the other. So with the gold, it can really go either way right now. It depends on if it breaks out of here, then it's going to be into this channel and come on down. I'd really like to see it sell off personally, but it's not right now. Now gold has been following ES, and usually if gold goes up, ES goes down and vice versa. That's not been the case lately. Everything is out of whack. There is no typical trend, no normalcy whatsoever. So it's really hard to chart because usually if you chart gold and see what it's doing, you'll know what ES is doing without even having to look at it, but now you can't. So let's go to the crude oil. Crude oil dropped out of the channel, and just like I told you, it will sometimes drop out and then come right back up. Now it dropped way down here to 1927. Now it's starting to climb back up. This could very easily be a rally for it, but then again, this is kind of following ES at the same time. So if ES is going up, crude oil goes up. I believe that we will probably see another low on this. I'd like to see crude oil take off because I know a lot of people are getting hurt over that. A lot of businesses, they can't even make it for under $20 a barrel. So at $20 a barrel, they are barely breaking even, which is going to hurt, the companies. If the companies are hurting, then you're going to have layoffs, and it's just going to be a down, trend from there. So crude oil, I'd like to see it come back up, but at this time, I'm not really sure. I think it will actually drop back down again. It might retest this 1927, and let's put a price level there. So I'm going to put that there so we can see it. So if it does come down, that's what we're looking for. And if it hits that, I'd like to see it come back up. And that's what I think will happen. And I think with the market, I think we're looking at a downtrend probably for 2-3 days this week, and then it will probably start creeping back up. I think it'll do a double bottom. Depends on where it goes though. DXY, the US dollar dropped hard. It came up today. The dollar is not even acting according to normal, other than when the ES was going up and this was dropping down. But now that we've got the dollar coming up, ES was going up. They usually do not go together. They usually go against each other. Again, this right here is out of the normalcy. I'd like to see this go ahead and come back up a little bit, and if it did, then the market would drop a little more. That's just from my own personal bank account, I guess. So the dollar, it did drop out of this descending triangle right now. It looks like it may come down to the 97. It looks like it's just doing a bear flag here, and it come down. Now there's another bear flag, and then it may drop down here again. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Dow Jones was the same as ES, just like I said earlier. This one is made up of 30 stocks. The ES is made up of 504, which is S&P 500. So with that being the case, you would think that everything would be kind of going, a little bit different, but it's not. It's exactly the same. We come down. I'm not going to do all these tickers again. We're going to do NQ. NQ is the same thing, totally different stocks. It's in the NASDAQ. It's more of a technology and stuff like that. So everything in here you would think would be a little bit different than what ES is, but as you can see, here we are. It's the exact same trend. So if you look at that one and you look at that one, they're the same chart. So now why is that? They shouldn't be. They ought to be different. If you're buying in a stock, it ought to be different than the other. So, but it's not. And then this one here, that's not going to be good. I charted out ES. It's going to be the exact same chart. And this one here is no longer in use. So I'm going to take that one out. So, but the charting, if you chart out ES, you're going to see the NQ. And then we look at VIX, see what happened to it today. It sold off. That's because the market was going up. But we're still staying within this channel. So staying within this channel, then more than likely VIX is probably going to go up tomorrow. And when it goes up, ES is going to go down. So it looks like we might go down tomorrow, just based off of VIX. It's staying in the channel. So like I said, if you chart this one and you chart ES, it's going to be the same but inverse mainly. And then we have, let's do Walmart. We're all in Walmart, a bunch of us in our group. If you're not in our Discord group, we have we go over all the charts and so forth all day long. We watch it, do the call outs. That is where you're going to learn the most, and you're going to learn what we're doing as far as the call outs and so forth. I tell all my trades, the other members tell their trades, and we discuss them. We do live streams to discuss some of the trades that we're doing, and we buy on the spot in live. So if you're interested in that, click on the link below and get joined up with us. But Walmart, as you've seen in the past, we had this descending wedge, and that's a bearish or a bullish wedge. And then we had right here, we had the green horizontal, and then we had this upward trend, and that made an ascending triangle, and that is bullish. So we had a bullish pattern here, we had a bullish pattern here, and then we also had this channel, the purple one. And that purple one is a bullish as well. So we come down, we actually drop down below it. But when we drop down below it, we went into this triangle, ascending triangle. We popped out of it right at the very end. And if you look at that, you can see right at the end, it popped out and then it just took off. Now this big old long candle here, that's nothing. It does it about every day. It's just market makers messing with you, getting rid of the stocks and stuff like that. It's nothing to worry about. And then if you go... let's see here. Make it a little smaller. So if you go here, now this is not going to go straight up this line. I drew this line just to let you know approximately where I think it's going to go. This is probably going to go up and test the top of this channel. And it may do it here. It may do it way down here. This may come up and consolidate across and then go up. It may be forever. But I just want to give you an idea of where I'm going with it. So with Walmart shooting up today, the last time I got in Walmart that did that, I'm going to show you what happened. It went up right here, and then it consolidated across, it dropped down, and then it took back off. Now what it was doing was staying right across the top of this channel, so it's a little bit different. If we look back over here, it dropped down, hit the channel, and all of a sudden we had a big day, and it sold off a little bit, and we had another big day, sold off a little bit, and had a third big day. So my thinking is that on this one, I don't think we'll sell off. We might come back down a little bit, but I think it's going to hit a hard one again. So if we look at this and go, let's see, from right there to there is 6%. So then if I go to 12% right here, so that would put us about 122 tomorrow. And this is just a guess. I mean, it may not even hit. It may sell off tomorrow. And then if we're going up to 18, so then we're looking at 127 on Wednesday. And then we could easily, either Thursday or Friday, we could possibly get there. So I'm looking at the end of the week. As soon as my calls get pretty green on these, I'm going to go ahead and sell them. I'm not going to hold them overnight very long. I have some that are April's. I have some June and September's. And the different strike prices and so forth. But I would say that this will actually turn out pretty good. There's a chance we may hit the 140s. Walmart is doing killer business right now with this CV. They've got the grocery stores open, so they're really buying. People are buying more groceries than they've ever bought before because you can't eat out. And then what Walmart is doing to help out on a lot of different things, they're actually delivering groceries in some areas, so that's good. So I think Walmart is definitely strong, and I believe that since it's going so strong, that makes me think ES will probably pull back as well because they have been running inverse of each other for a long time, about the whole year. So that's my take on Walmart. Uber is another one that we had. Uber actually ended up crossing out that channel today, but it may pull back a little bit. It may go ahead and take off. It's kind of a cup and handle right now. So Uber is one. I didn't jump in it today, but I know some of them did. Uber long term, I think it's gonna be fine. And Tesla I mentioned earlier. It's been in this cup and handle pattern, and it's probably going to take off either tomorrow or the next day, I would think, because this is about how long that will usually last. So we'll just have to see. I think one thing that hurt them was the shutting down that one place, and I do know that Elon is helping out with the ventilators and such, so that's really good of them. We'll look at TLT. It sold off today, which is kind of expected because the market rallied so hard. But you can see where we're going. I've got alerts set in place to know what's going on, what we're going to do with it. Join our Discord group. We're talking about it just nonstop as far as our targets and everything to know how we're going to handle this. So we should be able to make a lot of money on this one. And I'll look at two more here. There's Target. Target, I think it's going to be really good long term. It's kind of like Walmart. So that one I'm pretty bullish on. And then we look at T. It's consolidating the last several days. I think eventually T is going to actually take off, especially with that new bill that come out. I think with the new 5G service and stuff, long term, I think you'll be fine. Look at SPY. Everybody likes to look at SPY. You can see here how it went up. And another thing you can do is, I've never mentioned this, but SPY right now is 261. If you go back to ES, you can just take away the last digits and just use the first three, and that's pretty close to what SPY is going to be. So if you look at ES, you can look at that and it'll tell you. So you don't have to keep clicking back and forth to see where it is. You can just look at your numbers up there. That's just a little helpful tip. But SPY, I believe, is going to come back down. A lot of people are saying around the 220 range. I don't really know for sure. My fib is at 203. That's on the weekly. But that doesn't mean it has to go there. You can see here it stopped at 217. I think we'll actually test that again. And so when we sell off, I think it'll actually test there, and then that's when we get our bounce. Let me look at a couple more here. BA, a lot of people have been talking about that lately. So BA is in that same cup and handle. It's a matter before the market takes off, but I think it's going to sell off one more time. Probably get 1-2 more days of sell off, and then I think that it'll actually not rage, but I think that it will actually start moving. I think it's where we'll be. And ABT, I got in calls on it today. That I'm long biased, and mainly because they are the ones making the vials for the medicine and so forth to put in order to treat patients with the CV. So they are working hand in hand with the government to do that. So I think that is going to be something that's going to be really good. I wish I knew about them before, but I was a little concerned about getting in because there's so many companies that are saying that they're working on stuff, but nothing ever comes through. Where ABT, it is coming through. They were talking about it again tonight on the news. So I think long term, I don't really know where it's going to go. Fib wise, it says 126. That's our magical number. And that's over time. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It may pull back, drop down to here or whichever, but I'm long biased on it. And I believe that's all we'll go over. Look back at ES. Always shut down on the ES. Let's see what it's doing on the 1 minute. See, it's still coming down. So, and yeah, you don't trade on the 1 minute for what we do. But this gives you an idea that, it went up and, this trend may be a little off, but that 1 minute is probably at the high, and it's probably at that trend if I adjusted it more. And then, it actually sold off, come down, made a lower high. So you have this one, you come down, lower high, come down, even lower high, now we're coming down. Now you can see it's probably just going to drop out. So that's what I'm wanting to happen. Short term for America, I don't want America to get hurt on this, but I mean, America's already hurt. I live in a tourist town, and you can't even go out to eat anywhere. You can get a drive-through somewhere, but the restaurants are shut down, the businesses are down. They send all the tourists home, so they're going home. Our town is a ghost town now. So our beaches, I live right on the beach, well, a couple of blocks from the beach, and the beaches are less crowded than what they were. So we go out and walk on it, every night, and that's where I'm going after I hang up. So if y'all don't have any questions or anything, I've only seen non-nurse on here, so that's the only person doing it. If y'all can give me some likes on there, I'd appreciate that. If you give me some likes, and please share the video and try to get me some subscribers. I'm wanting to get over 100. That's going to happen in the next day. I'll have a whole lot more than that. But if y'all can help me out with that, and also the Discord group. Like I said, if you haven't, if you're not a part of our Discord group, it's more like a family in there. We don't argue and fuss. We just help each other. When someone is having trouble or having a bad day with their trades or whatever, we all jump in and help. We're not there to bash or make fun of anybody. We just want to help people. And we want to help you make money, do better. Maybe you won't make money on the trade that you got in, but maybe we can help you get out of it a little bit easier and get into a better trade the next time. So join our Discord group. There's a link down in the description that lets you know more about it. If you need to ask me any questions, you can comment below. I'm the one that takes care of all that. But you can comment below, or you can get on our Facebook group. You can send me a private message in there if you don't want anybody to see it, and I can help you with that. So again, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the morning. And my Discord members, I'll see you tonight in chat. Have a great day. Go green.